On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out who Blade's mom is on Spider-Man the Animated Series, if Blade and Morbius will ever team up, and if the love triangle between Spider-Man, Felicia, and Morbius will finally end. All that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where we gather around to talk about our favorite comic book-based TV shows. This week, we are taking a break from the ones that are out, coming out every week, and we're going to dive into Old Faithful, Spider-Man the Animated Series. I had to bring in the number one Spider-Man boy to join me and talk about it. That's, of course, Mike.
I'm the number one Spider-Man boy. Do you hear that? Ryan, who's not here, I'm the number one Spider-Man boy.
It's a little unfair to claim it when he's not here to whine for 5 minutes, but you get the title at least. And honestly, in my heart, you're number one Spider-Man boy.
Thank you so much. And we both know we'll get the voicemails.
We absolutely will. We'll get a voice memo. Oh, it's actually coming through right now. I see that he somehow knows. Mike, I wanted to ask you a quick question. On these weeks, when we go back to Spider-Man the Animated Series, these episodes are so crazy that I find myself truly being like, how did we get here? And I know, like, X-Men was crazy, but I could somehow follow it more. Spider-Man, for some reason, it's just this joy of so much stuff getting thrown at that I'm truly sometimes just like, how did we get here?
And especially because we've taken a hot break.
Yes.
Since we've done Spider-Man, so it's like, this season wasn't about vampires. Last episode it was the Man-Bat Morbius. Mm-hmm. And so I guess that's a connective tissue, but Blade was like a couple seasons ago.
We are getting deep into Blade's history in this one. We are really...
This was full on a little kid, what action figures do I have? I'm slamming these all together today. Like, maybe that's how they wrote these shows. Like, it is wild.
There's a lot of times a show will do something and I'm like, they had a wheel, they spun it, and it landed on something. I've never been more sure about a writer's room having a spin wheel than this season.
The best spin wheel is, what's the word we start our episode off with? And this word is budgems. We learned Felicia's cat is named Boojums.
Yeah. So when we start this episode, we talked. We're going to be talking about episode 7.
407.
407. Partners in Danger, Chapter 7, The Vampire Queen. When it opens up, yes, we don't have Spider-Man like talking to himself, trying to figure something out.
Right.
Instead, we have Felicia with her cat, really trying to figure it out. And the cat's name, Budgems.
And then, like, there's flashback to Morbius, and she's talking about how, like, she has to destroy one of the man she loves or betray the other. And I was like, which is which? Like, I know it's Spider-Man and Morbius, but, like, which one's the betrayal and which one's destroying? I don't know.
Because Spider-Man is so dramatic, him being turned down will destroy him, absolutely.
Yeah, it could be a destruction. She knows it, and she's going, that's betraying Morbius.
Or it could be straight up shooting Morbius with a gun that will physically destroy him. Who knows? Who absolutely knows?
Which does seem like a betrayal. So...
So she's going through it, but then we can't forget that our boy Spider-Man's also going through it. So we then cut to him with his same monologue that he's had for this whole time of like, where's Mary Jane? Does the Black Cat love me? Why isn't she out here with me fighting crime? Also Felicia, what's up with her?
Yeah, what's up with her? Yeah, he has so many like footnotes to his complaints, and half the footnotes are like, what happened to that person I said I really cared about?
Yeah. And then, why not? We cut to like Transylvania.
hard cut to ancient European castle.
The hardest to cut. What cuts to it is he's like, I wonder where Morbius is. And then we cut to a castle, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure, this vampire castle, absolutely. But it's not. It's a different vampire.
It's it's this chick in a cool purple dress cape thing, and then she's just attacking townspeople, and it's like, I need your plasma, because this show can't say blood. And then Blade just rolls up, and I don't think a motorcycle belongs in this old-timey European town.
The way that Blade utilizes a motorcycle throughout this whole episode, I'm like, this man has legs. He is not a motorcycle, like half motorcycle, half boy. He can use legs, but no, he is.
Don't tell him that.
It's also like, how did he get the motorcycle there? Like, did he drive it all the way? Did
he ship it?
He had to have shipped it, and that's crazy.
It'd be awesome if it was a European style, so it's just a little Vespa. So it's like a third of the size of his normal bike.
We also, so he's full hunter mode. He's got all the tools. He's got a crossbow with arrows that are the sun, I guess.
Yeah, sun arrows, for sure.
Everything's the sun here, and he's hunting. And he doesn't catch the vampire, but the vampire does drop a piece of necklace, I'm going to say.
Just a little piece of necklace.
The tiniest piece of necklace. And this breaks my boy Blade.
Oh, it fucks him up. I don't think it reveals why yet.
No.
He's just like, what?
This was one... We've already had 5 confusing parts. First of all, how we ended up here. But him just screaming at looking at this little piece that you have no idea what it is yet. I was like, what is happening?
Wow.
We then have to go back to New York. Everybody is trying to find Morbius. Morbius is basically lying in bed trying to survive because he's not drinking blood.
Yeah, he's starving himself so to not, hurt people.
Mm-hmm. We end up in New York because the girl vampire who was in Transylvania, Miriam. Well, let's just say we know her name. We know that.
Yeah, it did. Like, I don't know who said it, but it did just suddenly everybody knew it. Yeah. I don't know where that happened.
Suddenly everybody's like, this chick, Miriam. Absolutely. She's here because she got a newspaper saying that there is a machine that can turn people
into vampires.
Yeah. And she was like...
But she also said she has a psychic link. The minute Morbius became a vampire, even though he became a vampire through science, not mystical reasonings, that he has a psychic link to all other vampires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's just vampire science, Mike.
That's straight vamp science. And she tries to hypnotize him to be like, tell me everything. And he's like, no, I don't want more vampires. And she's like, haha, I read your mind anyway, bitch. And then she just goes on like a fucking scavenger's hunt. So she learns, Landon knows. Landon's the two-faced lizard man.
Yes.
He's in the hospital, which I do not remember why, because I think it's been a hot minute since we checked in on him. And she's like, flies in there. There's a guard there. He's like, what? She's like, fuck you. Throws him out of the hospital. And then goes, Landon. And she's just flying around New York, grabbing memories from people's minds till she finds out where she needs to go.
And I can't tell you why she had to go to Landon. Like, I don't know why the writers decided, like, no, not from his mind.
What if Morbius knew? What if Morbius knew?
No.
Why? But hey, guys, this is very logical. How would Morbius know, right? He would just know about Landon, and Landon would know to go to Fisk's tower.
They really thought it through, and they knew that the people would be in an uproar if they just got it if she got the info from him. Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, we cut to the LT, who is normally like Spider-Man's ally, and then she sort of dated Blade.
Yes.
She's straight up, we got to kill Morbius.
Yeah, she's taken a dark turn. Something's happened to her, and she is on a murder path.
And he's just like, well, let's like try to figure him out. And then he's also very slowly putting together. He's like, Black Cat doesn't want my help. And Morbius. Also, she said, I love you, Morbius, a lot last episode.
It's very weird.
I wonder what's going on there.
She for some reason just like keeps really caring about Morbius and what happens to him and doesn't want to kill him. Very strange. Yeah, but LT absolutely down for murder. But they have like a meetup at, I'm forgetting Blade's like Whistler's making all these tools. They're still going to him for all these things that will basically kill him, even though they don't want to. And he's just sitting there, and like he realizes that like everybody's falling in love, but
but him.
And the one thing is that everyone's vampires. Surely that's what everyone falls in love with.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, do I need fangs? They track a vampire attack to Queens, and they show there, and there's a silhouette that's clearly not Morbius. It is clearly a woman in a purple dress. And Elsie's like, Morbius! And then she turns around. They're like, what? There's another vampire? They all start to fight. but Blade stops them before they can kill her. And he goes like, I got this locket. And she's like, no, we got to take her in at least. He goes, no. So now Blade is fighting him.
Yeah. And he's like, you don't understand. See, this locket matches up. This is my mom, you guys. And he's like, I will defend her with everything I have. And I was like, okay, I guess. Sure.
And Morbius fight, like, Felicia's about to get got by Blade's gun. Morbius saves her. Morbius does show up. So everybody's just coming up. And Spider-Man's like, hey, Blade, what if we, like, work together? And Blade shoots him and then breaks the vampire tracker. So no, he won't even take work together to save Mom.
Yeah. And Mom has this weapon, the recombinator or some insane word.
Neogenic recombinator. I don't know why that's hard for you. I wish I could say that's written in my notes. It's fucking not.
Just stamped on you in your brain that you'll never forget. She has this. She's going about town. She's here to make a family. She's here to make a family of vampire children, and this gun that turns humans into vampires is perfect for her. She finds the perfect place to take it to, which is of course a disco or an underground rave.
Which also looks quite like a Transylvanian castle from the outside.
Yeah. Well, and if there's gonna be anybody, like, that is where the people who would want to be turned into vampires would be. So to be fair, she did pick a great place.
Yeah.
They get in a little grapple and she shoots a disco ball, so it kind of becomes a random thing of who turns into a vampire.
They do find her because Morbius is like, oh yeah, I have that vampire tracking psychic link. And yeah, that disco ball that worked out real well for her. No. It happened on accident at first, and then she's like, wait a tick.
She was like, this is fucking rad. And I was like, honestly, this is rad. Let's do this. She briefly has a vampire army of about like 8 kids, and she's hyped. They break out the window, but Spider-Man and them quickly reverse the gun, I'm gonna say.
They like throw the gun on the ground and it breaks near those kids, so they all just revert to being human. Which, look, I know this is vampire science, but that doesn't feel right.
No, it feels right in my heart, and it feels right to the writer's heart, absolutely. So now we don't have this whole army to worry about. At first I was like, dang, she's gonna be so powerful. Nope, she's not at all. So briefly lived.
It did break because Blade saves them, because she's about to shoot Felicia, Morbius, LT, and Spider-Man, and Blade is finally like, oh damn.
I guess
because the LT is like, your real mom is trapped in that vampire's body and she needs your love. And that's when he's like, oh, you're right, fuck this gun.
That line, crazy.
They have a couple. We skipped it, like in the middle of fighting. Different people have little moments, and in like the first fight when Blade's like, wait, actually, I'm fighting all of you. He says to the LT, you were the one who showed me the beauty of feeling. What?
Wait, hey, what?
I don't know what that means.
We, throughout this whole episode, focused so much on the LT and Morbius's relationship, and like, they have a deep love that we haven't seen, and it is breaking her.
Yeah. And Blade, you said Morbius. Just because she wants to kill Morbius, she wants to fuck Blade.
Yes.
But yeah, they sort of met and were attracted to each other when Blade first showed up a season ago. And at this point, it's a giant love story. It's very similar to Fast and the Furious. When you first meet Letty and Dom, they're kind of just like fuck buddies. Yeah. And then it's like this epic love story. What?
Yeah. And they will ride or die for each other. Like, she is on the verge of like it's ending it all for this man. She's like, the whole time she's like, I'm strong, I don't need him, he could go off on his own. And every time he leaves the screen, she is crying. I'm like, this poor woman, man.
And he eventually cycles off because he says, I'm her only child and only I can save her. So other people can help. Didn't this whole episode prove you kind of probably should have other people's help? That's
what I'm still like. It's crazy we have a whole Blade focused thing.
Yes.
And also we're not getting any growth in the time. Like, I thought at least in this episode, because there were so many times where like Spider-Man went up to him and he was like, hey, I know where they're at. Let's do this. Let's be a team. He's like, absolutely not. I've never worked as a team. Morbius goes up to him. He's like, hey, I straight up have a link. I can find her. Like, I have basically a GPS on her. Why don't we team up? And he said, fuck you, and drove off on his motorcycle. And I was like, so just no growth, huh? We're just going to keep watching this happen over and over again? It's crazy. But yeah, so we have them, I'm trying to remember how this like ends. Like
So Blade rides off, and then Spider-Man is like, "Hey, let's be together." And then she quotes him back. She says, "Great power, great responsibility. I got to go help Morbius." And he's like, "No, but why can't I be with you?" Mm-hmm. She's like, "I gotta leave." She says, "I love you," and then she swings off, and he just goes, "Cat!" And then we cut to Morbius and Felicia. They find Blade and offer him help, and he just rolls out.
Yes, he's solely a motorcycle boy.
And then Spider-Man and the LT are just like sitting on a curb together. Like, whoa, what the fuck is our life?
This episode was crazy. We did also at some point had Felicia decided that she was going to be with Morbius. Yes. And she tells him like, hey, like you could be strong with me by your side. I know you still need blood and that's the one thing you need to survive. But what if you had me and no blood? And I was like, sure. Why not?
What?
Absolutely, Felicia. So next episode, I'm sure Spider-Man's going to be an absolute wreck because he has nothing now. So looking forward to an even sadder Spider-Man when we check in. That is it for this episode that we watched, though, which means it's time to go to our Webbies, which is when we give awards. All started off with Best Web Zinger. It felt hard in this one.
It was hard.
There was one moment where LT, I can't even tell you what happened, but she said, "Forget it, webhead." And you know what? You go, LT. That's something for us here. Mike, were you able to find anything? Because this episode was hard.
Mine is an anti-web zinger. And it's Whistler at another point. It's when Blade first like fucks everything up and they tell Whistler what happened. And just like so barely phoning it in acting wise, he just goes, "I'm so disappointed in Blade." It made me laugh a lot. So that's my anti-web zinger.
This Whistler, I just love every time he was on screen. He was so sad about a different thing each time. Yeah. Like, just him that nobody loves him. And also that, like, he can only make these weapons that don't really work fully. There's always a catch to them. And then, this one of... he's just disappointed in what Blade is doing. Just because it brought me more joy, I'm going to give you 2 points for that. I'm going to say the anti-web zinger wins this one. Let's move on to Kung Fu Grip or Best Move or Power, and what do you have for that?
Disco ball gun. Come on. Yeah. I have a laser gun. I have a thing that's 1,000 mirrors. Genius. Good job, Miriam.
It was also the one moment in this episode where I was like, the writers, they've done something cool. I'm into this. This is happening. I'm fully on board for what they've done. You would think it's disco ball, but Mike, it's obviously smoke bombs and a loud ass motorcycle.
Sure.
Because at some point they're fighting, and to get away, he keeps throwing smoke bombs in front of his motorcycle, but then revs this loud ass fucking motorcycle to move a foot over. Why are you using the smoke bombs? We can hear you.
You're wasting the motorcycle and the smoke bombs.
It just doesn't make any sense. So that's obviously the one that wins this. I'm going to say I get 5 points for this, Mike.
What? Damn.
5 whole points because motorcycle. Let's then go to most 90s thing. What do you got for it?
Miriam rolls up with the Recombinator in an alleyway, and two best of friends are hanging out. A young punk girl with a mohawk and a middle-aged dude with a ponytail. Why would they be together at all? That's the 90s.
That's just the two 90s. They would always find each other. And if there was somebody suspicious in an alleyway in the 90s, you would just be like, "Hey, bud, what's going on?"
Do you have, what do they call? Probably just ecstasy then. I was going to say, what did they call Molly back in the day?
Pretty 90s. I would say my 90s thing was when we first got Blade, he had a full stinger that played, and it took me back to those 90s cartoons, and I was like, yeah, we're in it now, absolutely. You know what, Mike? I'm going to give me 1 point for it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Our next one is New York is a character. What do you have for this?
So at the end, when Spidey and LT are hanging out, they're just conversating, and she gets a call.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
And that call.
fucking
So they call over the radio. They say, hey, we have a 9/11 in progress. And then she's like, oh, man, very calmly, I might add, I gotta go. Wow. Did Spider-Man predict 9/11?
They had no idea what they were doing. But for the radio thing to be broken down with, instead of 911, 9/11 in progress was beautiful. I had to go back and make sure that is exactly what they said. And Mike, you're absolutely right. That is the most New York thing that happens. You get 100 points for it.
Yes. Nothing's more New York than 9/11.
Just the fact that so long ago, like so many things had to happen for this to align. You don't need the extra point, but you have a chance to get an extra point by complimenting me through this episode if you can pull it off.
I don't know if it's a compliment, but I do have a new nickname for you that I will call you from now on because of this. And Cassie, you're my boojums.
No, there was so many mean things you could have said during it. Honestly, I'll still take it as a compliment. You'll get a whole nother point. That means I ended this with 6. You ended it with 103.
Wow. I really thought I was going to get fucked on this one.
No. I stated at the beginning of this, you were the Spider-Man boy. It's official. You are the Spider-Man boy for the week.
I am the Spider-Man boy.
That is it for this episode, though. We have some websites that some people should be checking out. And Mike, can you tell the people about them?
If you want more stuff from us, go to popfilter.co. If you want to make your own dope-ass website based on WordPress, go to cybersprout.net. They're your partner for the digital world. Those are our websites.
Check both of them out. We got another show that you should be checking out as well. It's called Movie of the Year. That's where Mike and Ryan and Greg are doing the very important work of figuring out what the best movie of any given year is. This year, you guys are on 1984?
1996. It's 1984 was years ago in real
Hell
time.
Yeah. Oh, 1996?
Yeah, 1996. We're doing that thing you do. We're doing Jerry Maguire. We're doing Mars Attacks. We're doing The Birdcage. It's great.
Check it out. We're also on Instagram. It's at YourPopFilter. Give us a follow over there if you haven't. Like some photos, please. I'm asking you nicely, so can you please do it? Also, if you could rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on whatever little catcher you're getting these guys on. Whatever you're listening to, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We got an email as well. We're going to have a big email episode coming up, so we need them emails.
Yeah.
These episodes can be anything. Do you want to know what Mike's favorite color is? He won't tell you now. You got to put it in an email.
I was about to, but no. Yeah,
Don't do it.
I'll save it.
Don't do it, Mike. That's a big thing that people have been wondering. If you have any other opinions on any comic book TV shows, email us, contact@popfilter.co. Next week, we are going to check back in with Daredevil and see what he's up to. So be sure to catch that. That is it for this week, though. For Mike, I'm me. For me, I am me. Bye, everyone.